What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Me Tinx Live, exclusively on Radio Andy, Channel 102. As always, this is our weekly time to talk to each other with a live Ask Me Anything. I want to talk to all of you right now, so call me. It's 844-305-ANDY. That's 844-305-2639. Hello, good morning. I'm live from New York. I went on a Rich Mom walk with two of my college best friends, and one of them, Molly, who I call Momo, she used to live in New York. And I was like, "What? How is it to be back?" And she goes, "Oh, I just love the chill in the air. It's one of the 2 leather jacket weeks in New York." And I thought that was so good. She was like, "There's 2 weeks in the fall where you can wear a leather jacket and it not be too cold." And I was like, yes, you are so right. It is a leather jacket week. And I love that because like I love a light jacket. Oh my God. Just obsessed with New York. You know me. I am so annoyingly obsessed with things. And right now, the object of my affection is New York. I find everything romantic. There was a severely troubled person on the subway this morning, and you know it's bad when New Yorkers get up, right? Because normally in the subway, when someone acts up, everybody just looks at their phone. Nobody does anything. This guy, everybody popped up out of their seat and was sprinting to the next car because he had like this scary like butane lighter and he was like, whatever. Anyway, even that, I was calling my mom and I wasn't like, oh, it was scary. I was like, "Mom, the camaraderie on the subway cart was so beautiful. And like all the New Yorkers were looking out for each other. And I just loved it." And she was like, "Okay, so what you're saying is like some guy was like trying to set the cart on fire and you thought it was cute." And I was like, I love the camaraderie here. Anyway, that's that on that. Okay, VS show. What did everybody think? I'm honestly curious to get a dialogue going here. If anybody wants to call in and chat, it's 844-305-2639. Now, my headline is, I loved it. I cannot lie to you. My eyes were glued to the screen. I thought it was so great that they got all the incredible iconic baddies back, plus some new baddies. I mean, Alex Kansani, I am so obsessed with her, and the fact that she walked, Divine, everything and more, obsessed. I love Paloma. I love Ashley Graham. Like, I thought the casting was really A+. Now, I understand that when you are paying like 80% of the most important and beautiful models in the world, like maybe budget's a little tight, but respectfully, I feel like we could have done a little bit more with the stage. Just maybe a little. Second of all, there was themes. There was like the rock one, and then there was like I don't know. I just kind of miss like the more defined themes. Like I love the costumey bits and bobs, but I feel like they were kind of inching their way back, like after they like last year was a bit of like, ooh, I don't know. So I feel like they're kind of moving back slowly. And since this one is pretty much a resounding success from what I'm seeing on TikTok and Instagram, I feel like maybe next year they'll go harder. Wish it was 2 hours. Could have had it gone on for longer because I absolutely freaking love it. And I was just like, I want more. Would have loved more behind the scenes. But I guess this is what I was talking about with my friends last night. I guess now the behind the scenes is all on TikTok because they were, interviewing all the models and whatnot. And I love that all of the interviews backstage took a different tone. Because if those of us who have watched the Victoria's Secret fashion show since we were like young, such a big part of it was them going behind the scenes and being like, how did you prepare? And then being like, I didn't eat for 2 weeks. And like, obviously that was problematic and not good. And this year, I believe it was Barbara Palvin, someone asked her like, what is the first thing you're going to eat after the show? And she was like, you know what? Back in the day, I would like not listen to my body and it was too unhealthy. And then I would, have a big treat after the show. And she said, this year I listened to my body and I think I look better than ever. So I loved her answer. And I also love that aside from that, all of the journalists were asking different questions. They were really asking appropriate, cool questions. They weren't being like, what workout did you do to get washboard abs? Because as we know, models kind of, they work really, really, really hard, but models are models for a reason because they're like naturally beautiful and stunning. So I thought that was really appropriate. No offense, but whoever was editing it, like I know Jasmine Tinx and, I've met her many times and she's like the most iconic. They like cut her walk off. I was like, why is the camera not on her? So I just have a few notes about the camera. Like I need to see everything. I need multi-camera. I need it to really I feel like it was because it was live. And I think that was new as well. I feel as though normally they film it for TV so they can get every single angle, like film it a million times, and so we get to see every angle on TV. But this one felt like a bit rushed. I felt like they were literally sprinting down the catwalk as well. But overall, loved. Love Cher, love Tyla. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do believe Tyla to be the most beautiful person alive on earth at this time. Like, oh my God, she's actually flawless. It's insane. I would have loved to throw Sabrina in there. Again, probably all the budget was going towards literally the most famous models in the world. But had they had another buck or two, would have loved to see Sabrina, because I know she would have absolutely slayed it. And I just love her. And I feel like she's a very VS vibe. But overall, I liked it. What do you guys think? If you want to call and talk, tell me. We'll talk about it. Okay, enough of me yapping. Let's get to our callers. Okay, let's do Sarah. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, Tinx. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for calling. What's going on?
So I'm in this great relationship going on 3 months now. He's amazing in many different ways,
Great.
But the sex is constant. The sex is really good, but it's constant. It's like morning, afternoon, like on weekends, nighttime. It's always. And there have been instances where it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm still sleeping, and like I really I need my sleep.
Yeah.
It's fun in the morning. I like it in the morning, but sometimes I really just need to sleep.
You need to sleep. Yeah.
So, and one time I told him that, and I'm from New York. I'm not good at sugarcoating things.
For sure.
So one time I'm just like, dude, I need to sleep. And I think my delivery sucked and he got upset. We worked it out, but going forward, how do I nicely deliver that message to him? I don't know how to do it.
Okay. I do feel bad for you. That having been said, I think that you have a problem that a lot of people would love to have. I know that that's not what you want to hear, but like, oh my God, the amount of girls that message me who are like, I want to do it more. My boyfriend has no drive, da 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 da. So let's find a way to figure this out. So I think that what you need to do is take him to dinner, and it should not be in like a sexual setting, because I've heard from like licensed sex therapists that you should never talk about like that kind of stuff in the moment, because it can feel like a rejection, which is probably how he felt when you told him, because he was like trying to, and you were like, no, I need to sleep. So it was in the moment. So I would take him to dinner and be like, look, I'm obsessed with our sex and I love doing it with you, but I think just for me, it's important that I sleep. So we need to set this boundary. Like I can't do it in the morning on weekdays because I just really need my sleep. I get kind of, tired and whatever, but I think you should do it in a really kind and loving way, because I think you can totally work this out. Like I really do.
Okay. That's actually a good tip. I haven't thought about doing that. And I've always been doing telling him this in the moment.
Yeah.
And it sucked for both of us.
Exactly.
We were both, unhappy about it.
No, totally. I think it just feels like then it's so awkward after, then you have to be like, oh, okay, like I guess not. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you go to dinner, I would even make it like a romantic fun dinner, have some wine, relax, and be like, look, I have to talk to you about something. And you can even frame it in like sandwich it and be like, I have to talk to you about something because I really like you. Start like that. And then he's gonna be like, oh, she likes me, like, woo. And then you could be like, I love our sex life, but I just need to sleep in the mornings on the weekdays because otherwise it throws me off. That's how you should say it. I'm obsessed.
Gotcha. So just a follow-up question. In the beginning of our relationship, he did tell me that he considers sex to be like 50% of the relationship. And
what?
To me, yeah, that... So
50%? 50% is crazy.
And that's the thing. Like, I'm a pretty sexual person, and he's great. Like I said, like, he pleases me, anything I want. Like, he's always up for it. But it kind of made me feel a little objectified, like 50%. I don't know. So do you think that's like a red flag or not a big deal?
I kind of do, honestly, because I'm a very sexual person also. I've always said that on this show and said that I think for me, sex is important and it has varying degrees of importance for every person. That having been said, I would never put it at 50% because I think sex ebbs and flows, especially in long-term relationships, especially like, what if you go on to marry this guy? Like, it's never going to be that way forever. So I think to put that much weight on it is kind of crazy. I just think that's like way too high a number. I don't know if that's cause to break up with him. Sounds like you really like him. So I would play it out, but I do think that is, it's not a deal breaker, but for me, that is a red flag.
Okay. And do you suggest that I bring this up to him because it is something that bothers me?
Has he been in long-term relationships before? Or has he had girlfriends before?
Yeah, well, he was married before. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Did he tell you why he got divorced?
Yeah. So his previous partner
wouldn't bang him in the week. Just kidding.
Well, she has some trauma, I believe, and that led her not being. I think she couldn't keep up with him. That's what I think happened. He hasn't really given me the details, but there came a point where she had to move out. So obviously, when you don't live together, you're not going to have as much sex, and I think the relationship just dwindled in that way.
Oh gosh, that's really heavy. Is there a possibility he could be a sex addict?
Like watching porn all the time? I don't think so.
No, but like addicted to sex. Like, I don't know. Or isn't that is a condition that some people have? Jesse and Chris are nodding. I think it is a condition that you can have.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but like, I just feel like if he says it's 50%, if his marriage literally broke up partially because of this, he's a functioning adult. Like, how old is he?
40.
Yeah, dude, if he's 40 and he can't catch a hint that you can't be having sex like 4 times a day when you are like both working adults, to me, it seems like that might be something deeper that he needs to address in therapy. Like, I don't know. You know, I don't want to die. I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist, but it could be that he has a sex addiction because it seems like very pervasive in his life.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And do you think that's something I should deliver to him nicely, of course? Like, hey.
I think you should take him to dinner first and say what we agreed on, you know, like, I like you, but like, this is kind of, it can't be doing this in the week and da-da-da, and see if he's able to respect your boundaries. Because if he can't respect your boundaries, then that's 2 issues. That's number 1, he can't respect your boundaries and hear you when you say something. And number 2, it means that his need and desire for sex is stronger than like his like for you, if you get what I mean, which is also a problem.
Gotcha. Okay. Will do. Thank you so much. This has been very helpful, Tinx.
Thank you for calling. Love you. I hope it all works out. I know it will, whatever happens.
Thank you.
Love you.
Too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Someone on the live just said if he's not able to cut back, that's a sign he's addicted. Yeah. I don't know. This guy is giving me not the best vibe. Like, not the best vibe, but it started off as such a fun call. You know, it's nice to be wanted in bed, but not that much. Not that much. Carolyn, what's up? How are you?
Hey, Tinx, I'm so happy to talk to you.
Likewise. Thanks for calling.
Thanks. I'm one of your older listeners.
Amazing.
I was calling in regards to the gal who had called about the boyfriend that wants to have sex all the time.
Oh, yeah. What are your thoughts?
I have a good friend who is married to someone like this, and he wants sex all the time, like every night. I mean, granted, like, we're old now, right? So, but like, every night. And when he doesn't have sex with her, he pouts and cries and complains. And like, the happiness of the whole household, including the kids and everything, is just dependent on him having sex.
Oh God, that sounds awful.
Yeah. And so like, if she's thinking about long term with this guy, if they're doing it 4 times a day now and he's 40, like, I'm looking at this thinking, if he's already 40 and this is still it,
right,
this is a problem.
No, I agree with you. Honestly, I wish I had been a little more like harsh or just kind of strict with her, but it kind of, the way she said it, you know, it kind of got worse as she said more stuff. But if she's still listening, if you're still listening, girlfriend, you gotta break away from this guy. I think we all agree. So thank you for calling and telling us that, because I agree with you. And it's just, if he's not able to control himself based on, you know, her wishes, then it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Then it becomes like his happiness and the happiness of the kids is dependent on what she has to do with her body to please him to make everybody else happy.
Yeah, which just isn't right at all. And I really like the way you articulated that. I think it's important what you just said, and I agree with you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Tinx.
Thanks for calling. Thanks for giving your
Have a
2
good day.
cents. Appreciate you.
Okay,
Lots of
bye.
love. Bye. I love our listeners. They're so smart. I really, really love when we get callers like that. She's so right. And I love when people bring real life experience. So thank you for calling again. Okay. Who shall we go to next? We're going to go for a break. Okay. Well, I will be right back after this, you guys. If you want to join the conversation, it's 844-305-2639. I'll be right back.